This is the character that that Oracle played the most, I would say, back in ye olden days.
Before our time.
In the long, long ago.
This would be a fun matchup. I do know that Neville's not like one and only Squirtle player. I think also, I might be wrong, don't quote me on this, might be part of the Brawl Minus dev team as well.
Interesting.
So, definitely has knowledge of all the characters. Really silly guy.
Yeah, I would say one of the heavier hitters here in DFW.
Oh yeah, like been consistently like PR ranked ever since he like joined the scene, and he hasn't been playing for that long.
Yeah. Definitely one of the players like after my time. Oh, the trade on the up.
The double dip.
Yeah. Quick stock from Oracle.
Has me scared. We also don't have any Robs in DFW anymore, so this is also kind of a foreign matchup. I don't know if Neville's ever played like any notable Robs out there.
From Squirtle, of course, is going to be a big thing, along with the harassment. Various different ways to move around.
The RAR from Squirtle as well, just getting that cell,
yeah,
the cell field.
Wow, forward air. I'm surprised that actually took it.
Squirtle's forward air seems like the fakest forwarder to be strong. It does not look that.
Yeah.
He kind of like just puts his feet out, and then, you know, I'm expecting that to do like 3 damage at most.
Yeah. That is interesting to note. So one of the changes, from my understanding, for the Squirtle water gun is it doesn't hit quite as high anymore.
Yes.
And so those full hop air dashes by Rob are going to be a pretty solid option, I think, to be going over those projectiles and coming in himself. Of course, falling the neutral air, falling the forward air, all sorts of great ways to approach it. And that just, or you could just eat through all the water gun hits with the neutral air hitboxes. That works too.
It's fine.
Yeah, you know, why not?
That works.
Barely.
Ooh. Was running low on recovery, but really nice downer, and just kind of stall out and also buy some time to get on the platform. It is pretty close, but we do see Squirtle just doing the things that Squirtle does best, which is just juggle you, be really annoying, and move all over the place.
Slipping and sliding. Ooh, good space in there and timing to know that he can get the forward air out and still grab the ledge. That's always an interesting question for any character in the Squirtle matchup, I think, is how do you set up moves to hit that low to the ground? Because Squirtle is so tiny.
Yes.
Oracle doing a pretty good job with that with the instant air dash side B into forward air. Scooping nice and low.
It's also really nice to see in like in this tournament, we're seeing like a lot of like old school versus like new school, or like at least the current generation. And just seeing like how exactly like, you know, even though these people probably haven't played in a long time, and it's probably like been how many patches, they're still able to hold on their own, because right now Oracle's still looking pretty good, still pretty dominant. It's at 169, but isn't showing any signs of like slowing down.
I think it's worth noting that despite the fact that Oracle, you know, I haven't seen him in the local scene here anytime recently, he's still looking pretty crispy. Like, I'm not seeing any things outside of that right there. Commentator's curse. That, like, looks like any sort of, like, actual misinput. He has really good control of his character. No serious mistakes. I feel like that's one of the harder things that, like, I personally struggle with, is, like, just keeping control of my character and trying to do all the things that I want to do.
Yeah.
The game is very fast-paced and very technical, so cool to see that Oracle still has that at the moment.
I saw Oracle trying to pop the balloon with the gyro and he lost it. Which honestly, if they didn't want me to pop the balloon, they shouldn't have put it there.
Seriously,
I will go for the balloon every single time, even if it puts me in a bad situation.
Yeah, it's there to get killed. What are you doing?
Luppy not gonna take it quite yet, but Neville is kind of running away with the game. Does have Oracle.
Forward air doesn't quite take it there. Like the preemptive. Not only did he get the double kill there, it denied the balloon kill.
Yeah.
Oracle all the way in, and then got the kill himself. Respect. Fun fact. I don't know if this is still true, but back in the day, I had the record for most balloon kills in a single game, which was 10.
10?
10.
Wow.
I imagine it's been a long time since then, so if anyone has counted, I'm sure someone's beat that record at some point in time. But
I remember we wanted to make like, we wanted to add something to our build that counted how many balloons are popped.
That would be so fun. I don't know. It's a fun little thing.
But I don't know. I don't know whatever happened to that. I don't even know if it's possible. I feel like it is. But
yeah. The problem with that is that you would probably have to do some sort of UI editing, which would probably be harder than like. Well, I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure how hard it is to just like co-opt a variable to use that as a counter.
I think they wanted to like add it as like an additional like thing like where the stock icons are.
Okay. And
they basically be like balloon pops, but I think a reason why is like it felt like it might have been too cluttered.
Possibly.
Yeah. You don't want to. You really don't want to mess with like 3 things you don't want to mess up with is like percentages, stock icons, and the timer.
Yeah. That the visibility of all that, of course, really important. It's surprising to see Oracle counterpick to Dreamland. Rob, a big chunky boy. His recovery is pretty solid. He's going to be living a pretty long time. Doesn't have too hard of a time finishing his opponent off. So, classic Oracle counterpick. Good movement from Neville, though. He's doing a pretty good job. This is something that I thought as well, which I hope Oracle isn't falling into. My idea against going against Squirtle is that I would want more space.
Yeah.
Because it's like whenever he is up close on you and like at his optimal position, it's really, really hard to do anything at all. But then I've had other people tell me that that's kind of the opposite of what you want to do, because if he has too much space, then he does this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where he like slips around, he shoots water guns, and it becomes like really, really hard to hit. So we'll have to see how the larger space of this stage works out for Neville. Oracle is able to find his way in on the water gun zoning.
I guess it also just kind of depends on like how you play and how you play your character.
Yeah.
Because I could definitely see like, oh, a little bit of a flub there.
Okay, nice crouch cancel down smash there. Oracle to punish the.
Don't do anything just yet.
Whoa.
Ooh, nice. Good PC drop to get the stock. Down a percent, but not entirely out. But Neville has been pretty dominant, just kind of not running like all over Oracle, but just running all over the place.
Yeah, really consistent damage output, consistent good decision making.
Taking control of the stage.
Yeah, controlling the stage a lot, and kind of like what we mentioned with Pug, right? Is that it's not that he's over abusing like any one individual thing. Like he's using a lot of water guns, he's using a lot of side Bs, he's using a lot of random stuff in general. So another example of just like placing his moves really, really well. Switching to like, Neville does a really good job of like switching it up so you're not necessarily sure what he's going to do next. Squirtle does have a lot of different options for good, solid burst movement and pressure and ways to poke. Neville's really good at like not over-relying on any one of those things, I would say.
Ooh,
wow, okay.
That actually killed. I was surprised.
On Dreamland.
It didn't. I felt like it was just too slow.
Yeah. There, yep. Oracle finding the deep flare to cut through the water gun. Still scrapping back and forth afterwards, though. Not intentional. I don't think that up was intentional.
Well, we take those any day of the week, regardless.
For sure. Wow.
Okay. Tip of the up B, not going to get the strong hit there, but does tack on a little bit of damage. Looks like Oracle just wanting to scrap a little bit more. Neville, always happy to.
I think at this point in time, the pressure is on Oracle to try to find some ways to make the scraps happening. Neville's dancing around it a little bit too hard.
Another big thing is like, look at the timer. We're down to 60 seconds.
Are down to 60 seconds now and counting.
So I'm pretty sure the players are aware of this. They're like should be cognizant of the timer.
I'm not sure if Oracle is. He hasn't played a lot, from my understanding, in this new age where the timer is different. So he might not even be paying attention to it.
Yeah, here in DFW we are down to 5 minutes instead of the standard 8 that we see in other regions because we wanted to be special and also wanted to test out And a lot of players were really happy with it, because right now we're at 30 seconds, and it seems like Neville's aware of it.
Yeah, I don't think there's a world here. Well, maybe not. It's pretty hard. Oracle would have to hit him with something insanely hard, like right now. 20 seconds is not a lot of time.
Yeah, he would have to... Yeah, 15 seconds. I'm pretty sure at this point Neville...
Yeah, it's honestly nice, I feel like, if you're around here, that the forward smash hits you. You don't have to, like, the 12 seconds of just desperately swinging to try to get whatever hits you can, because that's rough to go through.
Yeah, I felt like if there was going to be, like, at any given point, whenever, like, if Neville didn't necessarily get the kill right there, at that point he would have just played, keep away.
I don't think there's a world, where Oracle could have done enough damage to finish his stock off. Like, even get him to the percent where he could be looking for a finisher with that time limit that he had. Not having an easy time comboing Squirtle. Rob, as a character, you know, it's always fun because Oracle's name is Rob. So, you know, sometimes, Rob, am I speaking of the character or the player? Rob, the character, you know, has combo setups, but, you know, one of the big ones is, like, you know, falling up, like air dash up air, or like some sort of grab, and having a pretty hard time landing either of those against Squirtle. Oh my God,
especially whenever
Squirtle
just kind of crosses you up and also hits you on both directions at the same time.
It's like a flying squirrel, except a flying Squirtle. He's just zipping.
Yep, he's gonna finish it. So yeah, switching. It looks like we are switching to that smaller stage theory of trying to see if like if you can just kind of like scrap the Squirtle a little bit more. But Neville,
Neville's switched gears, be super aggro instead. It's working out pretty well for him.
Neville's doing well, and just let's see what's gonna happen.
Okay, interesting rounded set. Oh. Oracle had the idea there of the charge forward smash, but didn't quite put it where it needed to be. Oh, the damage. Rob is a very big target for that.
Ooh.
Okay.
The Nair coming back. He's gonna finish it. So. But Oracle at 130, and Neville just has all the control on stage.
Yeah, I feel like it's so hard in particular in this situation because, like, Neville has already shown that, you know, if he wants to be more evasive, it's going to play really well. And it can be frustrating to be on the other side of that and be like, okay, well, now he's being really aggressive, and I'm losing against that too.
Yeah.
And so, like, even if you manage to, you know, create a scenario where you're winning against the aggression, you could just swap to the more slippery play instead, pun partially intended.
Is able to find some counters here. Neville was off stage and does have a lot of percent, but a little bit of slip up from Oracle, not necessarily contesting anything coming off a ledge.
Oh, like the little laser there. Didn't really do much, but it's cute. Oracle trying to find some sort of way to edgeguard this up B. It's interesting because the hitbox is very large. It's a little different than trying to edgeguard something like Roy up B.
Barely surviving the down throw, but...
Okay. Yeah, and now we have to see. Oracle has made the shifts. The aggro play is being dealt with a little bit more, and so see if Neville shifts gears again, or if he switches something up with his offense. This is a smaller stage, so it might be trickier to play the more defensive play. Drop zone Nair and back air. I think that is the last dash, that Oracle had there.
Has to be careful here, and looks like Neville has no plans of slowing down.
No, yeah, he's going to go full speed ahead. These strings from Neville, really strong stuff. It does a lot of damage. He just puts a lot of damage out, you know? Such a little guy.
Just how do you keep up? How does Rob, both the character and the player, keep up with this Squirtle?
Jet-powered destruction machine. It just flies at you and it just starts flipping all over you. Yeah, that's rough. The damage output from Neville